worship. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Come, let us worship God. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Let us worship God. Here and now in this space, in this place, we bring our hearts. We bring our joys. We bring all of us into this holy place and we anoint it with the power of the Spirit, ready and able, ready and willing to work in and through us, here and now. Come, oh come, let us rejoice. And so it is.
Here we go. As we're sowing, we are reaping. As we're sowing, we are reaping. As we're sowing, we are reaping. Children of the light. Sowing seeds of loving kindness. Sowing seeds of loving kindness. Sowing seeds of loving kindness. Children of the light. Sowing now for bright tomorrow. Sowing now for bright tomorrow. Sowing now for bright tomorrows. Children of the light.
Good morning. My name is Sheldon Edwards, and I welcome you to our Sunday spiritual experience. We are Verity Centre for Better Living, a New Thought teaching ministry, and a member of the Universal Foundation for Better Living. Namaskar. If you are joining us for the first time, it is my pleasure to greet you on behalf of the Board of Directors and our members. It is my hope that something said or done today will make a positive difference in your life. Please know that we accept you, respect you, and appreciate you. If you have any questions or need to find out more about the center, please follow us on Facebook or contact the office. We thank you for spending this time with us. Our vision is creating and maintaining a spiritually based community that facilitates enlightenment, enrichment, and empowerment. Our mission is offering spiritual-based principles and techniques to those who are seeking to live healthy, happier, and more prosperous lives. Our motto is always verifying the truth, vivifying the spirit, vitalizing the soul. We offer a full range of sacerdotal services, classes, and spiritual coaching. There are also opportunities to be an active part of this community. Please contact the office. Please affirm the opening statement with me. It is on your screen. I see myself in a new light as I awaken the Christ within. I am transformed through the power of Christ consciousness. Please turn to the page after the center page of your daily inspiration publication, and I will be reading core beliefs 4 to 6. They are also on your screen. We believe with Jesus that our experiences are the reflections of our beliefs, and therefore the key to happy and successful living is right thinking followed by right action. We believe with Jesus that the basis for right thinking is love, love of God, and all that is good in ourselves and others. We believe that learning to listen to the whispering of the still small voice within us will ensure that we are guided into right action. Today's inspirational reading is found on page 30 and will be read by Genevieve Trudrell of the Sunday School.
Good morning. I let God lead. Our life experiences are the result of our predominant thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes, which most often were not formed upon spiritual truth or in accordance with spiritual principles. We forget that God has given us gifts that include the strength of insight, our capacity to gain accurate and deep intuitive understanding of all things. When we effectively use our gifts, life's pitfalls are avoided. Always, we should ask God to order our steps. As God is spirit, communication can only be done through spiritual mental means. Allowing God to lead and guide begins with opening the mind by releasing all preconceived opinions, beliefs, and attitudes. Claiming at oneness with God, and being open and receptive to divine mind's rebirth of ideas of success and prosperity are important steps. As you receive these ideas, let them renew your mind in truth. Soon you will realize just how much your life experiences have been transformed. Be thankful. Enjoy kingdom living. It's all good. And the scriptural text is taken from Psalm 119, verse 133. Direct my footsteps according to your word. Let no sin, error rule over me. And so it is.
Thank you, Genevieve. Please listen to the announcements. The daily Call to Love meditation continues at 7 a.m. The link is in the Verity News You Can Use email. To receive the phone-in information, please leave a message at 416-240-1956. Please join us on Sundays for meditation from 10:35 to 10:45 a.m. There will be no Sunday school today. They will reconvene next Sunday, March 28th. Breakaways continue each Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's time to share and get your questions answered. Come, bring a friend, and be prepared to participate. The link is in the Verity News You Can Use email. Please submit your photos for the art gallery to verityvibe1@gmail.com, and they will be featured once a month during fellowship. How well do you know your Verity neighbor? Verity Vibes Throwback Contest continues. Submit a baby picture, one from your youth, or a blast from the past to verityvibe1@gmail.com. You will get the opportunity to play the guessing game during the fellowship. We would like to thank Verity Vibe and all those who attended movie night on Friday for your input and discussion afterwards. Let us prepare for a moment of conscious communion with our source and supply.
Oh my God, how I love thee, how I love thee, how I love thee. Oh my God, how I love thee, how I love thee, my God. God, how I love thee, how I love thee, how I love thee. God, how I love thee, how I love thee, my God.
God, God, how I love thee. And right now in this space, we simply say, I, therefore, shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. And as those words take root in our consciousness, we simply do so and make space for this new visioning, this new reality that's going to constantly pour out and manifest in our lives here and now. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. This is an opening of the door for Spirit to unleash a new reality into our being right here, right now. We are cooperating with Spirit. We are cooperating with the divine plan. And we keep saying, I shall not be moved. From our toes to the top of our heads, every part of our physical and spiritual being resonates with, I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. And no matter what thought crosses our minds, we simply stay rooted and say, I shall not ever be moved. I shall not be moved. We therefore give Spirit the permission to have its own sweet, special way with us individually, with us collectively. Spirit, have your own way right now, right here. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. And so it is. Amen.
God, 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 how I love you, how I love you, how I love you. God, 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 how I love you, how I love you, my God.
The thought for the week is by the Reverend Evan Reed. Recognizing our true nature as spiritual beings affords us the opportunity to experience the enormous potentiality that stands before us. If we unhitch our thoughts from the past and set sail to the infinite possibility that lies before us, we will begin to grasp a glimpse of the cornucopia that is life. We will now have a musical selection by Marita McMillan.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling fish in the sea, you know how I good. Oh, and I'm feeling good.
Thank you, Marita. Thank you, Richard. Today's lesson, Visioning a New Reality, will be given by Renee Richards.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sheldon. Thank you, Grisha. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Genevieve, Marita. Oh, just good morning, everyone. This has been a powerful morning, and happy spring to you. You know what? Because we normally would have a moment where we would say hi and how are you. Do that right now in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or here in Zoom right now. Say good morning. It is a good morning. It's Sunday. It's a good God morning. So do that right now. 30 seconds. Tight. Go. All right, you got 10 seconds. Forget the 30. We're going with 10. But good morning. All right, I know y'all are typing because now my screen's just blowing up. Awesome. Well, good morning. Welcome. And Deborah, thank you for that morning meditation. It really just anchored what this is all about today. The title is about visioning a new reality. And the scripture that I'm using for the basis of everything is taken from John chapter 19, verses 28 and 29. And it says this: after this, when Jesus knew that all was now finished, he said, in order to fulfill the scripture, I am thirsty. A jar full of sour wine was standing there. So they put a sponge full of the wine on a branch of hyssop, and they held it to its mouth. Now, when we read that story, and of course, as we get ready for this release, this newness, because we are in our Lenten season. This is the 5th Sunday of the month. We're talking about the idea and this is the 5th word, I should also put that out there, that it was in this moment that Jesus, being on the cross, knew that I had to release everything. So I'm going to take a twofold moment. Let's go with the scripture first, and then we'll have fun with it after, okay? So here's Jesus on a cross saying everything is finished. Well, what was finished? His journey of life, everything that he was working up to be, and he was finally able to let go everything. And letting go everything is sort of like what we're doing right now during Lent, where we're releasing or eliminating anything that is negative, that is not of our true divine purpose. And then we allow ourselves to embrace something new, something bold, something brilliant that only you can bring about. Now, I like this part. It said that it was a jar full of sour wine. And I had, me, I have to be the dictionary. I'm like, what does that mean? And I went to the revealing word, and right there on page 211, it says that wine symbolizes the vitality that forms the connecting link between soul and body. So sour wine then is the reminder of life being bitter and sweet. Not everything is going to be perfect. And it was sitting there. There was a jar standing there. And they dipped hyssop, a branch. Now hyssop, because again, I'm that child that had to go and take a look at it, is a aromatic herb or a flower. And it's a little bit on the blue side of things. So imagine a blue flower just sitting there on a branch, being dipped into this sour wine and being placed on the lips, reminding us that not everything is as delicate as you think. Now, vinegar or sour wine is vinegar. It isn't pleasant. We may cook with it all the time, but that tartness gets to us, right? For all my cooks, you understand what I'm talking about. Well, what's important to understand is that the flavor of the hyssop mixed in with the vinegar just refreshes, and it was what we taste on our palate. So let's go into the story. Here's Jesus sitting there on the cross, and I say sit meaning standing there, And he's given this opportunity to say, I am thirsty. Now, the author of our Lenten booklet says, and his name is the Reverend Mark Anthony Lord, said Jesus wasn't talking about being thirsty for something to drink because, his body is starving. No, he wasn't referring to that. What he's talking about is that there's a deep sense or desire that Jesus was calling out because he's at a point where I need something more. So, question time. Is there ever a point in your life, your journey, that you ever stopped and said, I need something, but I don't know what it is? You have a goal or an intention in mind, and you're clenching at the butt of it, and you're like, what is it that I need? That is that intense desire, that feeling of, how can I show up? What is it that I'm supposed to do? And of course, there are times when it could be happening at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're up sweating at night, just trying to figure out, what is my purpose? Maybe that's what the question is. Jesus was looking to answer the call of his desire. So what are you thirsty for? We could talk about Jesus. He was a great way shower. He taught us how to use these principles and to demonstrate it in every moment and every day of our lives that we are consciously aware of course. But reflectively, because it's our story, what are you thirsty for? What is it that you are so deeply passionate about that you decided, I don't know if I could do it yet? I know they're talking about it now, saying it's the imposter syndrome. What is it that you have that's sustaining a dream? Or are you hoping one day that it'll just fall into place on your lap because, you think about it, you hope for it, and it might work, it might not. The idea about this feeling, this intensity, goes back to desire. And if we split the word Latinly, it is de of sire, the Father. Go to your revealing word and you can look on page 53 for the word desire. It says it's an intense spiritual expression of man. It springs from a deep within being and it has enduring power. So this feeling, this fire pulse that's in us will carry us through. All right, so here's true time or true story time. I can tell you there are many times when I'm crafting, whether it was doing jewelry beads or I'm crocheting, where hours could pass on end, but I'm so happy that I don't remember time. I'm not remember that it's time to eat either. When was that like for you? That when you're crafting or you're working or you're listening to music, that you get so engrossed with it that nothing else matters? Or maybe it's your job right now or what you're working on. We've found out we have more new skills and talents than ever before because this shift that we've had afforded us a new opportunity to say, here's a new chapter. What are you going to do with it? And if you don't know what I'm referring to, I'm talking about the pandemic. We were all doing certain things and going a certain way, like we had blinders on and we were trudging through the path. And then something happened and we all had to take the blinders off. What's going on? Take the headphones off. What's happening? And then it became an introspective moment where we said, hold on, what is it about me that I am not paying attention to? What is it that I need to step into that I didn't know before? Some people were so subconsciously used to just going to the store, buying food or, going out all the time that now you can't. Ooh. Oh no. So what do? You walk over to that area called a kitchen that you probably haven't used before in a long, long, long time, and you start to cook. Go figure, you were a culinary artist and you didn't know it. I hope to see you on one of them TV shows soon so I can say, I know you. But going back to the point is, what are you desiring? What is it that's in you that you haven't tapped into yet because you think it's not the right time? Okay, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe you don't think you are good enough or old enough yet. Or maybe you're too old to do it. Remember, you're a big kid forever and ever. I can tell you I am one. but it's important that we recognize just how invaluable our light or the salt that we bring to this earth is needed today or now, whatever point in time that now is for you. That's what I'm talking about. That's what this message is about today, is that we need to start seeing ourselves with a new vision. Because what we think about, we bring about. Isn't that what we say? So what is the vision that we are holding in ourselves that can give us that new reality, that new burst, that opportunity that are endless, the abundance of finance, where we're financially stable, or where we can just enjoy hopping from place to place as soon as the government says we can cross a border again. I know there's going to be an exodus everywhere. I have my bag packed. I'm ready. But let's go back again. It says a deep desire that has enduring power. Well, what power do you have? We know it's a spiritual quality because that is at the root of our tongue, represented by Philip, who was one of the disciples with Jesus, right? So what are we speaking life into that has to be part of this now moment? What are we thirsty for? For a lot of us, we may have the desire to see financial stability, like I mentioned, or to travel, or to be with and surround ourselves with loved ones who see us for the authentic pureness of ourselves. Maybe the connection is to have a stronger quality bond with God, and say in establishing a better meditation or prayer work. Maybe it's even to journal. I can't say what it is for you. I know what works for me. This new journey since literally last year, March 19th, has afforded me an opportunity to grind myself so into this truth that as much as a lot of things are happening, and trust me, there's a lot of things happening, I still see the wholeness, the pureness of what I am, which is absolute good. And I know that's the same for you. Now, if it wasn't, you would tell me, or would you? What's supposed to happen right now is that we're supposed to take time, like literally stop what we're doing and reflect and say, what is the desire that my heart needs right now in this moment? Maybe it's the ability to take time for ourselves from a place of inner knowing and calmness that can seem rather daunting, but I'm going to tell you, it works if you work it. Reverend Johnny Coleman was right in that phrase, because she saw the limitless approach to seeking God first before running to a thing or a physical person for an answer. She didn't go to just everybody. She went to her high place first, into that inner chamber where everything is absolute good, and got those answers. Look at Matthew chapter 6, verse 6. It says right there, but whenever you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. What's the reward? The limitless ideas that keep flowing your way because you opened a trap to catch exactly what you're looking for. Now, granted, we may not always know exactly what it is, but the idea of prosperity or love or forgiveness is at the core, and that's what the request was. And the moment that we can pull that down into a tangible vibration or a vision, here comes imagination. We're then able to discern that, work with it. I like to call it marinating. And then it shows up into our life affairs and world. The ability to meditate and to give pause, literally take a time out, allows us to shift the direction of how we would normally do things, if you will. This message about I am thirsty is, how am I going to take time to learn about myself spiritually so I can come back 100%, not just spiritually, but in a very real, a very vivid, very bright physical way, right? Our fifth basic truth principle talks about that, being that it's the law demonstration. What are we demonstrating, family? We come every Sunday to this moment, which I love. I can't tell you how much I love it. And we pause and we smile and we say, yes, this is great. We get all the information. We get so caught up in the moment. We're writing our notes down and we're ready to take on. But do we really practice what we just wrote down? Do we really honor ourselves to work what we know? This fifth principle about the law of demonstration is telling us that we need to practice to the point that we make it right for us. It's not about anybody else. And it's not about trying to, match what somebody else is looking for. It's about us. The man in the mirror. Michael said that. What it is about putting things into practice where we could be our own critical eyes on what's happening in our own landscape and say, yes, this is working and maybe not this. So I need to, tweak that. What do I have to do to tweak? It says go into prayer and shut the door. It didn't say bring a whole posse with you and say, hey, we're all having a group gathering, a prayer circle right now. And don't get me wrong, I love those too. This is an introspective, personal journey. What are you desiring out of your spiritual self that has to come out now? Because it's time. How are you developing your gift and talent to bring into this world? What are you seeing for yourself? I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but these questions have to resonate somewhere in each one of us to say, well, hold on now, what am I really desiring? How am I nurturing myself or honoring myself to be the best me I could be, showing up in the world where everybody else could say, wow, your light is so darn bright. I need sunglasses. Or better yet, they see you and they're like, long time no see. You look great. You look like you're glowing. And yeah, we could do that through Zoom too. Wow, you look good. And that is important. Don't ever deprive yourself from the idea that I am doing the right thing for me right here, right now. It does not matter what other people are saying. I am listening to the Spirit. I am Christ in me, my hope of glory, to move and be a better person. It says, I am thirsty. Is it that you're thirsty for water or something to drink right now physically? Then do that. But I can tell you it's not that kind of thirst that you're quenching for, that you're mulling over. I know, because I'm desiring for a few other things to make this now journey something better than I could have ever dreamt. I told you before, I was working a full-time job, 70 hours a week, which was crazy, but I did. And I gave. And then all of a sudden, things changed. And then 2 days after that announcement, I was at home saying, okay, now what, God? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And I would practice what I had to say. I would listen to messages and read the Bible or my daily inspiration, which was great. And it gave me something to work with. And I would ponder, well, what does this mean for me today? How am I supposed to show up in the world now? I could tell you, if you had asked me 2 years ago, would I be here doing this lesson over Zoom right now or YouTube? I would tell you, no. I'll wait for the boss to come in to do that. We have great ministers. I got another teacher co-worker that could do it too. I was happy just making sure the things were working great in the technical world in the background. But the more I poured myself into this practicality, and I practice, because you got to practice what you preach, I realized that there was something better that's coming through out of me. And every time I step onto the light or the podium, I realize that there's something in me that's needed in this world to make a difference for all people, whoever hears me. Maybe I just need to hear myself. I don't know. But I could tell you, I had to practice. For example, think about it. Could we just jump on a piano and just play like Mozart? Like right out the gate? No. Mozart had to practice. We have to practice too. We have to practice how to pray and meditate. Now, I know it's not an easy thing to do at times. It really isn't. It's not even great to journal. Trust me, I've been there. But I'm telling you, as a person standing here right now, or sitting, that the more you take a little bit, inch by inch, it's a cinch. You have to open yourself to the idea and the capability of realizing, I'm dynamic. I can do this. I am it. There's no one out there in this world that could bring it the way that I could bring it. Why? Because it's my flavor that makes it just that much sweeter. I'm like that special hyssop, that branch that's free and aromatic. What are you bringing? Or better yet, how are you showing up for you in this now moment? I mean, I could tell you, our spiritual work is needed, and we need to start putting it together. And I had liked this, and I wanted to read it from the booklet today. It says, it is an important turning point in your spiritual awakening because it is time to lay down the things that used to work for you, like making things happen, using your intelligence to dazzle your way to success, employing your wit and seductive skills to catch a mate. In other words, it's time to go to work. It's time to lay down the ego, that edging God out force, that little I that thinks that it's in the driver's seat of our determined future and life, and say, yes, I need to do what I need to do right now. It's time to let the I am Christ, the capital I and capital AM, to step in and say, I'm driving now. And where I need to go and what I need to do need not be for you, ego, because you're depending on the outside forces to get your spotlight. You don't have to put all the intelligence in the world, because the true wisdom comes from within. Orderly knowledge, the divine idea of wisdom that's in us. We know what we're supposed to be doing and where to go. Look at Jonah. He tried to run away from his gift and what he was supposed to be called to do. And what happened? He got swallowed up by a whale. The biggest mind shift that one can have happened. And it took him a couple of days to realize how to get out, because he had to release and let go and say, okay, God, I was supposed to go do what you asked me to do. I didn't do it. I'm going now. Let me go. He was released out of the belly of the whale and was able to go on the proper journey to fulfill his mission. What's your mission? What are you supposed to be doing right this moment outside of church that matters to your world? How are you showing up spiritually to do this work? So here's a question. Do you have a set time or a set opportunity where you literally just say, okay, you know what? I need a timeout. I need to pour into my spiritual homework right now. Do you have a time that you stop and you say, I need to do this? And if not, why not? Why aren't you giving yourself the opportunity to take, even if it's 5 minutes, to pause and reflect and say, just thank you for what I have? Do you look around your house and say thank you for every item that you have in your house? I can tell you I say that all the time because the plants are growing, because I talk to them. I'm grateful for every living thing that I have, because if I didn't, how can I appreciate what's more to come? And if you said yes, that you do make spiritual time, are you maximizing that time? Or do you find after a few minutes in, your mind starts doing these flashcards of, oh, I need to be taking care of the dishes right now. Oh, I didn't make dinner. I need to make a phone call. I got to do this and I got to do that. If that's what's happening, then it's time to practice harder to train the brain and discipline oneself to the quiet time. Now, for some, quiet time doesn't mean that you literally just have to shut off everything. Maybe it's soft music in the background, instrumental. Maybe it's going out and taking a walk with nature and just appreciating what you're seeing with your eyes. Look at how the colors just sparkle, the pinks and the greens. Did you go outside yet to enjoy the sun? It's a beautiful morning. It's not about trying to show up for others when you have this spiritual work that's upon you, or taking the time out that's necessary for where you need to be going. It's about the fulfillment of your spirit from within. Because the more that you pray, the more that you become still, ceaselessly praying in 1 Thessalonians, the more that you are open to hearing what it is that you need to be doing, to hear that still small voice saying, yes, move here. No, do this. No, I need you to go here now. And when you hear it, when you appreciate it, and you honor yourself, the more time you have to play. The more time that you can honor yourself by enjoying the things that you love doing most. Spending time with family and friends. Enjoying your favorite movie on TV. Reading a book. Dare I say it, journaling. And it's not about sitting still. I want to impress this upon you. It's not about just sitting still. Many can find connections with spirit, with that I am present, just going for a walk. I know there are many of you who do. Some get it from washing the dishes, maybe even making items or baking. My point is, you have to find out what works for you and then work that. Explore it to every avenue that you can. And if you really need, an extra note, here's a tip. Schedule it. Get your calendar out if you have it on a phone or on your laptop or another device, and schedule time saying, you know what, during this 1 hour moment, or even if you have to start small, start 15 minutes. We're not playing little league. We're going big leagues, team. 15 minutes. How can I show up for myself and pour into my new reality that I so desire if I don't give myself that moment to shine? 15 minutes. Is that not doable? Put an alarm. Turn off everything, any social device. Just rest. I can tell you that it works because last year a friend of mine challenged me and said, take an hour, put it on the calendar, and I actually had to send it to her. I now do 2 hours. Whether I am crafting and crocheting, I spend quiet time. Even if it's laying down, it's my time to just disconnect from all that's going on and just honor me. Are you doing the same? Are you doing exactly that Jesus taught us, which is to be thirsty and go after what you want? More importantly, are you going into that quiet moment and honoring yourself by saying, God, yes, I know I need to do this today. Give me the ideas and the right words, the right actions, the right feelings to pour myself into this. Because as I told you before, the vibration that I bring, you all can feel it because we're interconnected by that invisible link called love. It's there. It's never going anywhere. But can you feel it? Can you honor yourself in that moment and shine? And it's not about, well, I did my prayer work for the day and so I'm done. No, you pray ceaselessly. You give and you give to the point that you can't help but be thankful for every living thing that's happening in your life. Even for my drivers, you got to be thankful for the people that might drive a little bit too much on a Sunday morning, because, we like to say they're Sunday drivers. that people are going a little too slow. Well, maybe they're not going slow. Maybe it's a reminder that maybe you need to take a time out and enjoy what's going on around you. We're always quick to jump and do and go so fast that we don't give ourselves rest time to mentally just step back and say, wow, today's a good day. You really want to know how to put this together? Outside of John chapter 19, verses 28 and 29, or Matthew 6 and 6, look at the Lord's Prayer right there on Matthew 7, or Matthew chapter 6, verses 7 through 13. That the more that I pray and I say, thank you, Father, for all the blessings in the bread, the sustenance that I need, the ideas, so that it can manifest into from heaven, the invisible realm of my being, into my earth, my tangible here and now. What are you giving to yourself to love on yourself, to honor yourself, to show up? How are you framing this fire that's burning in you to now be tailored into something that only you can bring? I tell you, family, we have so much to be grateful for right here in this circle, because the more that we pour in, the more that we show up and fellowship and connect, that might have been the spark to help someone else catapult and say, I'm having a great day because I got to see one of my family friends online, because this is a family. Maybe I can connect later on with someone and we can go for a walk, socially distanced, of course. How are you giving to yourself and honoring yourself by saying, I'm taking a time out because I've been going so much that I forgot how to for myself? You know, the part that I want to impress is that we all have something so uniquely special to share with the world. When are you going to let your light shine, that fire from within? When are you going to step out and on pure faith, not the blind one, I'm talking the realness of you. When are you going to let that come through? When are you going to say yes to what's happening now? I can only tell you what is for me. I said yes March 19th of 2020. And yeah, there were moments where I was like, are you really sure this is what I'm supposed to be doing, God? And for every time I asked that question, something showed up saying, I don't know why you playing with me. I got you. You didn't think I got it? Here you go. Whoop. And there was another one on my plate. I may look busy doing all for everything, but the glory is in the fact that I know that spiritually, as I give to myself in my quiet moments of meditation and prayer and pause, I'm bringing the best of me out in everything that I do. Are you doing the same? When are you going to give yourself that opportunity to step forward and say, now is my appointed time, I need to shine? That's the question of the day. You need to see how important your vision is. And if it means doing a treasure map or a vision board, do that. There are great tools that we've all been known of or we've been accustomed to. Sometimes we might forget. So pull them out. Ask questions. Dig deep in the research of the Bible and learn your history, because this is our story. But be you. Be the dynamic light and sun, that fire, just like the sun, and be, capital B, capital E, be. Be your authentic self. Show up and be not just thirsty for the word, be the word. Be the I am of all that is positive and good, and allow others to say, well, what's different about you? How are you different? Did you have a change of food habits? Was there something unique about you that needs to step up? You don't have to explain it to them. Just walk in it. Own your truth. More importantly, own the love that's within you. Celebrate you. Celebrate those qualities that step up and say, I am it. And as I like to say, a bag of chips too. Family, today is our mark. It's the 5th week in this Lenten season. What are you embracing to show up now? I like to think of it as the phoenix. What are you rising to become? That fire, that essence. And if you're ready to do it, put it in the chat. Let's go. Because today is the day. And I thank you from the love within me for sharing it today with you. God bless.
If you continue to think what you've always thought, you continue to get what you've always got. If you continue to say what you've always said, then the dreams you're dreaming are surely dead. If you continue to walk that same old walk, and continue to talk that same old talk, don't you know that you won't grow in the ways of the Lord?
If you continue to feel what you've always felt, you'll never be able to help yourself. If you keep believing what you've always believed, then what you've been getting, you'll continue to receive. If you continue to think that same old way, your life will be the same every day. Don't you know that you won't grow in the ways of the Lord? You've got to change your point of view, change all the things you do. Take way down inside of you and let the light of God shine through. You've got to change, oh, in every way, step by step, day by day. No more waiting, hesitating. Change your life today. If you continue to think what you've always thought, you'll continue to get what you've always got. If you continue to say what you've always said, then the dreams you're dreaming are surely dead.
If you continue to walk that same old walk, and continue to talk that same old talk, don't you know that you can grow in the ways of the Lord?
You've got to change your point of view, and change all the things you do. Dig way down inside of you and let the light of God shine through. You've got to change, oh, in every way, step by step, day by day. No more waiting, hesitating. Change your life. No more waiting. Come on now. No more waiting, hesitating. Change your life today.
Wow, voices of praise, bravo. And Richard Whiteman, such a joy to hear you each week. So gifted and talented. Can't wait to get back in the building and do some more recording. Renee, thank you. That was a very good message. I got some great points for my afternoon service. So thanks for that. And it is that time in our service when we give back of our good. So I want to invite you to, as you or as we pass the virtual basket, I want to invite you to think about what you give and how you give. And just knowing that this is the way that we participate in this service. We make sure that it continues to operate, that Verity continues to be this powerful place for transformative change, that place where we change from the inside out. So let us join together in saying our offering blessing, which I believe we have a slide for. No? All right. Oh. Okay. Well, divine love flowing through me. Continue. Oh, there we go. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all is well. And so it is. And I just want to remind you that the gift that you're giving and the way that you're giving it is so important. So let's give with love. Let's know that at this point in time, all that we give comes from the source of creation, the source of life, which of course is this divine energy, or God as we call it. So just know that however you give, it is received with love and gratitude. It is used wisely. And we are also in a great place right now because we are in the process of getting a new mortgage. And so we're raising that last little bit of capital so that we can do that. So truly grateful to each and every one of you who is participating in that growth. So I just want to say that there's many ways to give. You can give through Canada Helps. You can give through e-transfer, which is wonderful, admin@veritycentre.org. And of course, you can mail a check or stop by the office. Little touchy stopping by right now, but you can mail in to 447 Vaughan Road, Toronto, Ontario, M6C 2, P as in Paul, 4. So I invite you to give with love, give with joy, and know that all is well. Let us join together in prayer as we bless this offering and as we pray over all of the prayer requests that I have received this week. So please join with me now. As we come together in this moment, I accept and know the power and presence of God as life itself. And I know that Verity Centre for Better Living is a divine idea in the mind of God. Verity is a gift and a blessing that teaches, inspires, transforms, and awakens each and every one of us to a spiritual truth beyond what we may have known before. And as such, our lives are better. Life is transformed by the renewing of my consciousness. And so I know in this moment that as I live from that place of divine awareness, something transforms. And money, which is merely the activity of God in my financial affairs, flows easily, comfortably, and continuously. So for that, I'm deeply grateful. I know in this moment that this has been a challenging year for most of us. And what I know is that this too shall pass. This journey of life and this change of things has been an opportunity to reflect, to expand, and to become ever more of what we were truly created to be. I know too that health is a natural state of being, that every body has within it the wisdom, the understanding to be in perfect order, created perfect, whole, and complete. I know that the body does what the body does, and it knows how to do it. So health is natural. I know too that this journey of life and living comes with moments of transformation. And that transformation is not bad or wrong. It is merely an opportunity for a new beginning. So I release this body, I release my mind, I release my struggle, knowing that heaven is a here and now reality when I remember God as my source, substance, and supply. This is my truth. And for this and so much more, I'm deeply grateful. I'm grateful that each and every person who needs it is receiving the highest and best good in every area of life. And I know too that this is assured. So with a grateful heart filled with love and joy, I release these ideas into the law of mind where I know it is done. All is well, and so it is. And let us now say together our prayer for protection, and it's on the screen. Together, please. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and so it is. And now, voices of praise.
celebrate your party with you. Come on now, celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Come on now, celebration. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate now. One more time, let me hear you say, celebrate good times, come on.
Oh, thank